Good morning, my wonderful, lovely, beautiful people. I hope that today is a good day for you, in spite of the different challenges our country has faced and still continues to face. All right, lovely people. So I'm seeing something here from JCSA, sorry, that's the Jamaica Civil Service Association. And they're very much concerned about PM's deeply unfortunate and disheartening comments. All right, let me read what the article says. The Jamaica Civil Service Association, JCSA, sorry, has described as deeply unfortunate and disheartening to public officers' comments by Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness regarding the inability to attract top talent and alleged suboptimal performance at the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM. The JCSA says it has received numerous expressions of concern and distress from its members who feel aggrieved and demoralized by that statement. It says many have conveyed their deep hurt and disappointment that despite their extraordinary sacrifices and unwavering service during a national crisis, their commitment appears to have been undervalued. And this is somebody speaking now. I'm not sure who as yet. It says, sorry. It is these same public servants, many of whom have lost their homes and have faced personal hardship, who continue to report for duty. They stand at the heart of Jamaica's recovery. Their unwavering loyalty and professionalism exemplify the very best of public service. Many would have started and walked away from these demanding roles, but our qualified, committed, and patriotic workers have remained steadfast. They have continued to serve despite the merger of duties, the strain of limited resources, and the reality of uncompetitive salaries. Their motivation has not been money, but service to country, a value that must be respected and upheld. The JCSA said in a statement on Friday, the association says while it acknowledges it was a JCSA, sorry. The association says while it acknowledges the continuing challenges related to talent retention and compensation reform across the public sector, any narrative that diminishes the value of Jamaica's workers or their collective contribution must be rejected. The JCSA now, it says the path to a stronger, more resilient Jamaica lies not in criticism but in partnership and appreciation for those who work every day to keep this nation moving forward. The JCSA stands firmly with all public officers, particularly those with ODPEM and the wider emergency response network who continue to selflessly in the face of adversity. Jamaica owes them not only gratitude, but also the assurance that their dedication will be met with dignity, fairness, and support, it says. The JCSA also underscored its call for fair and competitive compensation, respectful dialogue, and a renewed commitment to valuing those who serve. All right, this has been like a sore thumb for many of us, including myself, as it relates to salaries and as it relates to underemployment, perhaps unemployment for many of our Jamaican people. But I want to ensure that I'm being fair. This is not a lambasting or too much of a blame game. All right, one of the problems that we have had in our country, and that is why we end up with successive governments to blame the particular ruling government solely. Successive governments have failed, in terms of really, what's the correct word, lubricating the minds, the souls, and the hearts of the people in becoming experts at whatever it is that they are doing, so that they are experts and high-tier workers in their jobs, premium workers in their jobs. When we look at the illiteracy rate, I'm not sure if it has improved, but just a few years ago when I had looked at it, we were at 137th place, as it relates to illiteracy, which is really bad, that is like going into the negative, 137th place. we have a lot of brain drain in the country. So for those who are experts, they have sought, greener pastures in which they can be highly, in a surplus way, be paid. Because of that, some of the people who have remained stagnant, unfortunately. Some people have not sought higher learning, higher education, which is very much important because things change, ideologies change, theorems changes, hypothesis changes or hypotheses change. The way how the world operates change. There are some traditional things that may hold steadfast. For example, you will never ever be able to dissolve water in oil in water, unless something happens miraculously. But for now, some of the traditional things remain the same. So some of the onus is upon the people because they have not maximized on their learning power, the efficacy of the learning power, the importance of the learning power. They figure that, okay, I have a first degree and that is it. I was listening to something where, it is an unfortunate situation, and I personally believe it because I've known of this for years, where you have people who have first degrees and they're paid more than people with masters and higher, perhaps, which is an unfortunate situation. Because for those of us who have done higher than a first degree, we know the time, the effort, the challenges that come with learning, and it deepens and solidifies, it anchors your critical thinking skills. So it makes you competitive, it makes you a cut above the rest, a top tier person. And yet you cannot seem to find that foothold in getting the salary that you really and truly deserve, while you're having people who are mediocre, social loafers, who are getting highly paid. I know of somebody who was not performing well. I kid you not on that. They were not doing well in their work in terms of their whatever job description, and they were promoted because the individual was liked. So successive governments have not putting things in place properly, systems, so it runs into the next government that is there, and they end up running with it, not realizing it, that you find nepotism sometimes being the order of the day. So you have misfit workers. You have workers who are subpar. They may not necessarily be the best fit, but because they know this person, or they're liked by this person, or they're related to this person, they end up in positions that are highly paid or close to highly paid. And the ones who are really the good workers end up at the lower end of the stick, the bottom of the barrel. And that is one of the major problems that we're having in this country today. One of the major problems that we're having in this country today. And I know this was spawned because of something regarding ODPEM and not having the top tier people, to really carry out the job, in a comprehensive, high octane manner, superlative manner, simply because, of a lot of bureaucracies that are in place. Also the onus being upon them, not improving their skills, their academic learning, their talents, their gifts, their abilities. It's an ongoing process. I agree with Jamaica Civil Service Association that too many people are underemployed. There are quite a bit of top tier, high tier, mid to high tier workers who are paid subpar. Some years ago, a former minister had stated that anybody earning $500,000, this is long before COVID, that they're barely scraping. There are still many people who are earning under $500,000 today. Many of us are earning under 500, and we're talking monthly. Somebody was looking at the website to see for ODPEM, 6 positions seem to be available. And they seem to be available, and when they look at the salaries, it's appalling. It's heart-wrenching. 1 point something million, 2 point something million for people with masters. That's almost like a spit in the face. Hearken to in the face. But who do we really and truly blame for this? Systems have not been changed, throughout successive governments, and we pray that they do, especially for civil servants. Oh my goodness, the civil servants have faced it. They're to get monies, their salaries are to increase, and nothing. Oh, what a web we weave. Guys, you know what to do. Read TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe. Give me one of those lions. Thank you.